Hello Namibia and welcome back. This is episode 6 of Raw and Authentic, and today I'm going to be a student in a very talented gentleman's class. Today we're interviewing somebody who's been a resident in Swakopmund for so long, I guess, that you'd forget he was born in the capital city. Sadeyo Williams. Right, Sadeyo, welcome to Influence Now.
Thank you very much.
Are you glad to be here?
I'm excited to be here.
We're glad to have you as well. So, this is definitely Painting 101 and I suck. So, before you take us through the class, tell us a little bit about who Sadeyo is.
Right, Sadeyo. Firstly, I'm the owner and manager of S17 Mancave Barbershop based here in Swakopmund. And we now have a grooming spa as well at the barbershop. And then I'm an artist as well, and now a qualified barista as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
So in a nutshell, that's who I am.
That's who you are. Great. You can take us through the class and introduce us to this very interesting colors in front and what goes away, what must happen before we continue.
Right, so basically today we'll do a quick live painting, nothing too intense, but it will look good at the end.
Okay.
And I just want you to calm down because in art there are no mistakes, it's just creativity and we can fix anything with paint.
Awesome.
So basically what we have in front of us is a small paint palette, easel and a small canvas and 3 brushes, a little water and just tissue to dab the brush on. Yeah. And then a few primary colors, which we'll mix to get the end result.
Great. So Sadeyo, tell us, growing up, before we get into the painting, what would you describe 5-year-old Sadeyo as?
5-year-old Sadeyo, quite an exciting child, quite vibrant, loud, and so on. Let's say quite adventurous, found a lot of stuff interesting, always wanted to know more, wanted to find out more about life. All that, just trying out everything and trying to get as much as I can out of each day.
Yeah, so you'd say you're a very inquisitive person, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right, I'm ready to be a student for a few seconds. Where do we begin?
Alright, so firstly, get your biggest brush.
Right.
Alright, just
into the water.
Into the water. Okay, get it a little dry. And then you get into the red paint first.
Okay.
After you get into the red paint, just dab it on the palette. Perfect. And then we get it onto the canvas. Just make almost like a straight line at the top of the canvas.
Okay.
Just back and forth, back and forth.
Just
the top side for now. Add a little more red.
Right, while we're eating the red. I know that you were not originally born in Swakopmund, so do you mind telling us where exactly you were born and what was growing up like?
I was born in the capital city of Namibia, in Windhoek.
Yeah.
Growing up in Windhoek was quite fun and interesting because I had most of my family over there.
Yeah.
And started school over there. There's quite a lot to do for a child in Windhoek, with family around and so on. And at 8 years old, I moved to Swakop.
Okay, so basically you started your schooling career in Swakopmund.
Yes.
Where was that?
At Swakopmund Primary School.
And how was the transition, would you say, from a place? Because I mean, Windhoek is feeling a more drier area than Swakopmund is, and normally adaptability is kind of difficult. Like thinking back, how would you say your adaptability was in terms of like the weather?
Yes, the weather. It was quite tough. I mean, Windhoek is quite warm most of the year, and then it has super cold winters. And Swakop is wet most of the year, misty. You don't have sunny days like in Windhoek, and then in Windhoek, like going to school, you just wear like your school shirt. And in Swakop, you can't go to school without your jersey, and so we can't play outside because it's too cold and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it was quite tough at the start.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, I'm ready for instruction 2.
Alright, instruction 2, just clean the brush a bit in the water.
Okay.
And let it dry. And then we get it into the darker yellow, so on the right side of the red.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, and then just underneath red, we start with the yellow. Back and forth, and then slightly mix it with the red. Just go slightly to the top of the canvas. After that, just add a little more yellow. So basically what we're trying to get now is a blended effect between the yellow and the red, so you should start seeing slight orange
somewhere.
Yes. Somewhere.
Nice. So tell me a little bit about being a kid and trying to make friends.
Trying to make friends for me was quite tough as a kid.
Yeah.
Even though I was very, let's say, loud and vibrant and all of that, but it was quite tough for me to make friends at certain point. But once I got to make friends, I'd have them for a long time, and then we'd get along quite well.
Yeah.
But for me to reach out to children at that young age was quite tough. Like, I wouldn't be the first one to say, "Hey, what's up? Want to be my friend?" So I'd wait for someone to come and sit next to me, and then try to connect with them or so on.
Yeah, it kind of speaks to an introvert. So like, this is interesting, right? You know how there's a study that kind of, not dictates, but aligns like us humans having personalities to dogs. Yeah. So if you were one, what would you think? What kind of dog would you be? What kind of dog's traits do you have in terms of like personality-wise? Are you a Labrador
dog? I'd probably be a Chow Chow.
Really?
Yeah, because Chow Chows are quite chilled dogs. They like attention, but not too much of it, and they want to play when they want to play. And if they're not in the mood, they just sit in the corner and sit and chill. So I'd probably be a Chow Chow. Definitely not a Jack Russell or Labrador.
No. Yeah. Right, let's step into your third instruction.
Okay, so now just clean the brush again.
Yeah.
And dip it into the white paint.
The white paint. Okay.
So after the white paint, just let it on the palette again. And try to do soft streaks between the red and the yellow. Yeah. Just to give that cloudy type of vibe.
Disclaimer, I am not a painter, so whatever you guys see here, it's a work of art.
Definitely.
Awesome, so let's talk art. I know that you've been on the art scene for quite a while, and speaking of the art behind you as a self-portrait, tell me a little bit more about when did this art journey start for you in terms of painting?
My art journey started in 2016. It started like professionally. For that I just did normal drawings and stuff, but then I started focusing on it in 2016, and this specific painting I did about 6 years ago. So basically this painting describes me as a person.
As a person?
Yeah, so
tell us a little bit about it.
If you look at it, you'll see a straight face, and that's what most of the people see, but around the straight face it's quite wild with words over there, few paint splashes over here, and it's it's black and white, and then touches of blue in the background. So basically blue is my happy color. Most of people find it as a down color, like a blue money and so on, but blue is quite a positive color for me. And then the black and white basically just represents the black and white type of person I am, like
your yes is your yes, and your no is your no.
So yeah. So yes, basically this is me in a nutshell. If you look at it, the straight face, but quite vibrant as well. Okay.
So let's talk. Have you ever exhibited this, or are we the first to see it?
You are actually the first to see, like, on a platform like this. Yeah. The first time this was on display was at a painting sip event that I hosted like 2 weeks ago. So this is the first time that the public will actually get
to see it.
This, yes, and I'm also using this as the face of my art brand.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's interesting. So, looking at this picture, I see that you've drawn, should I call them battle scars on the one side of your face? I look at that and I think of going into war and having to storm in some way. You want to blend in with the environment tell us a little bit more about how that speaks to you as a person. What effects has life had for you to feel this was a good portrait of you being a soldier, of soldiering on despite things?
Yeah, basically we're all just brave little soldiers marching through life, and we have our battle scars. And you say it's challenges in life, you face different challenges like losing a friend, death, many kinds of challenges, fail here and there, but eventually you see the light, and that's why we have the light and the blue. Also,
because the blue represents your happy color, you being able to draw from that. I actually love the art pieces. I love how you put it together. Tell me about your first art exhibit, or you for the first time coming out and being, this is actually something I do and I want to share with the world. What was that experience like? What was that thought process like?
Yeah. At school, I had art as a subject at my high school, right? So, the school had art exhibitions each year where all the art students' art would be displayed. And that was like the first time that my parents also got to see my art, my friends got to see my art, and the feeling I got from it was total motivation to just improve more and more. And what my art teacher said is that any normal person, or not normal person, but any person that looks at a piece of art will say, wow, this is beautiful. But as an artist, you will see the flaws in that. But as long as you put your emotion onto a piece of paper, onto a piece of canvas, and basically live out your emotions and what's going on in your mind, and create a beautiful picture, at the end of the day, that is what makes it worth it.
That's amazing. So, before we continue, please take us into... I don't really feel step 2, but it's fine.
Alright, so now the next step, we'll clean the brush again, and then dip it into the brown paint.
Okay. Brown. So speaking of, your art teacher being able to tell you that normal people, I always say, and I say that with all the love in my heart, I always say God loves everybody, but I think when he looks at creatives, he goes, because of how our minds work differently from other people. What do we do with the brown? We go all the way.
With the brown, you just apply to the bottom side, like the white part.
Okay, the white part.
The canvas,
awesome.
Back and forth.
Yes, as I say. So, being able to put your emotions into art is such a crucial point for us as artists, because it's our expressive channel, I guess.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what are the pieces that you felt a little bit too vulnerable to share with the world that you've done? You don't need, can you describe those pieces?
Yeah, I actually did a collection called A Light in the Dark, which I did in a time when I went through a big mental, emotional struggle, it was quite a dark time in my life. And what I did in that time to get through the darkness, to get to the light, I used art and express my emotion on paintings and so on. But yeah, that collection is quite personal, and I'm still looking for the right time to share it with the world. Because I also want to share the story of how each painting got to there, because I attached a certain song to each painting and the name of the painting and so on. And also a few Bible verses, because with God I eventually saw the light again. So yeah, that was quite personal, and that is also, for me personally, art helps me to get through. Art is my therapy, to get through the tough times.
And to realize that you're human. Yeah. And I think creatives, it works differently for us, Somebody can be like, oh yeah, no, everybody goes through it, get over it. But as creatives, I think we have a different thing that we need to tap into to feel like life makes sense in some way. Awesome. So tell us, are you collaborating with anybody? Have you collaborated with anybody? Tell us about collaboration journeys from beginning to now.
Yes, at the moment I'm collaborating with Ebenetha Platt from Walvis Bay with paint and sip events that we're doing. Yeah. So basically focusing it on mental health. So through the paint and sip, as painting is putting your emotion on canvas. And mental health is very important, so we thought of doing painting some events dealing with mental health, and at the same time taking your mental struggle and making a beautiful picture of it. So and we had our first events. We actually had 2 events on one day 2 weeks ago in Swakopmund, and it was quite successful. People pulled up, and we're looking forward to doing more such events to focus on mental health and just to give people a good time.
So was that like your first collaboration? Because I know, like, as artists, we also have this thing where we're very picky about who we collab with, and it's not a pride thing. It's just when you have a particular vision and somebody else can like carry it out perfectly, you want to be aligned to the T with that. Otherwise, it kind of gets wobbly along the side, and it's influenced in the wrong way. Was it the only collaboration you've had so far?
Before this collaboration, I did a collaboration with a fashion designer, Libby Schmidi from Lost Boy. She did Fashion Week in Hungary, and she made a dress, and I painted on 2 of the dresses, did artwork on the dresses, and that also dealt with child marriage and so on. That was the first big collaboration I did, and the collaboration with Ebenetha Platt was the second big collaboration.
Okay, that's great. So backtrack again, like in terms of like family. Would you say your artistic influences come from like your mom and dad, and which one of the two is the more artistic one?
Both of them.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Both of my mom and dad are very artistic people. They also did art at school and university level. So my mom was actually an art teacher back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah. So with their guidance and inspiration and all of that, I did this. And my sister is actually a very good artist as well.
Really?
So it's in the family.
It's in the family. Yeah. So are you like the youngest, and how many siblings?
I am the youngest of 2 siblings.
So your sister does, she does like the vocal art, and you are more like a painter, or?
Yeah, she does vocal art, she does visual art, she does graphic designing.
You guys are quite artistic. That is actually really nice. So would you say like your parents expected it when they saw your work at the school exhibition? Was it like a, oh my gosh, my son, you're a genius? Or was it more like a, I knew you had it in you?
Yeah, basically like they knew I had it in me. I was always interested in art and always wanted to paint and crayons and those kind of stuff, and they would buy it for me and
probably guide you, like, this is how you work with it.
But always just to express myself and do whatever I want, and with that, basically, but I have to shout out Miss Urte Remmert. She's here from Swakopmund. She is the art teacher that basically helped me to develop my skills and see that I actually can create something wonderful on paper and with paint and so on. So with her help, my parents' inspiration, motivation, and also my sister.
That is so amazing. Oh my gosh. Yes, teacher. I'm plucking heavily here. So what is the next step?
So the next step, just take the corner, don't clean the brush, just take the corner of the brush and dip it into the black paint.
Okay.
And then just dip it on the palette again. And then in the brown area, just make small streaks, just like
wherever I want.
Yeah, however you want. Dark corners. You can make the one corner a little darker if you'd like to. Free flow.
Okay. So, today, this is so awesome. I always feel like, people have personalities beyond how we're known for our art. And unless somebody actually gets inquisitive enough to sit down and ask us, nobody actually finds out about it. Yeah. Being an alumni, how have you found ways, as obviously you're an entrepreneur in Swakopmund, and I mean, you've lived here long enough for this to kind of just become like second breath, I guess.
Yeah.
How have you found ways to kind of like support your old school and pour back into community?
So what we did at the start of the barbershop, like the first year that we opened, we actually went to a school in Mondesa and gave like 10 boys free haircuts.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so the aim is to go back to my high school and to my primary school early next year when school starts again for the children, and try to give 20 kids
free haircuts. Yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of you as an entrepreneur and a businessman, I know that is something that everybody has dreams. They want to start this thing.
Yeah.
talk to me about S17, the barbershop.
S17.
How did that develop and how did you kick it off?
So the name, firstly, S17 Mancave Barbershop. S17 stands for Sadeyo 17. So Sadeyo is obviously my name, and the 17th is my birthday. I was born on the 17th of June. So on my crown birthday, I actually launched the brand long before the barbershop started. I launched the brand S17, and at that point I did not know what the brand was going to be, but I just decided, okay, I want to have my own brand. S17 is going to be my brand.
Yeah.
But I believe in I always say I don't have dreams, I have visions. So I believe in having a clear vision of what I want. So I always pictured my name S17 on a building or on clothing brand or whatever. And yeah, a few years ago, we decided to start the barbershop. When I say we, I'm talking about me and my sister. So yeah, before we started the barbershop, we started a salon called PSW Hairport, which are our initials, and that was a unisex salon. And from there on, I started the barbershop.
Okay, so would you say that it's always been a love for you to see the best in other people, like physically? Because I mean, you're having a barbershop that's creating a space where men can come and look gorgeous, even though I know they don't want to be associated with the gorgeous word. You want to be handsome.
Yeah.
Talk about how that passion has afforded you the space and grace to work with men. Because I mean, you get to see men in their most vulnerable spaces when they sit in that chair.
Yeah, so basically, what I wanted to do with the barbershop, I like a good haircut. I had mine yesterday. So, and I wanted to create that space in Swakopmund where men and their sons can actually just come and unwind, relax. They say a barbershop is also like a bar, and a barber is like a bartender. Listen to all the issues the men have and so on. So they can just come in and relax, have a good time, look great when they walk out, feel great about themselves, feel confident. And just to have basically that's why we call it the man cave.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a safe space for men, and then also for barbers, talented barbers, to come and present their skill to the world, and also to grow as barbers and personally and so on. So yeah, that was my aim, and puts a smile on my face every day when a client walks out happy.
Because you've impacted them, you've impacted their lives.
Yeah.
So tell me, I know a lot of people in Swakopmund live under caves. Speaking of where exactly is Man Cave located in Swakopmund?
We are located at the Atrium Lifestyle Center, just across the new Woolworths, across the Woolworths Coffee Cart. Where Waffle House is.
Oh, Waffle House, and the street that is a one-way.
Yeah, Waffle House across the street from Hansa Hotel.
Yeah, okay.
Waffle House, Pick and Pay, Icy Spice, Man Cave.
Okay, cool. It's actually a very cool spot that you chose. Was that always the idea, like visionary? Was that the idea?
Yes, to be at a prime spot to reach tourists as well, and also be visible for the locals to see us. Yeah.
How would you say being a businessman in Swakopmund specifically has groomed you for the entrepreneurial life in Namibia? Because I tend to think people all around just look at us and think, vacation. But they don't think of the elements that need to come together for them to be able to have a vacation here. So how is this grooming you to being an entrepreneur?
It is quite tough. It definitely has its challenges, but because Swakopmund is such a nice town and people are so nice and friendly and so on, it motivates one to just do better and not give up on the vision that you have. And if you have a great team together, like I am at the barbershop, and with great clients as well, it makes it much more easier to get to the next level. And I always say, when you see you're doing good, it's time to do even better. So just keep on pushing yourself, believe in yourself, get on your knees, pray to the Lord, and eventually make it.
So tell me, I know, PSW being a unisex situation, then moving right into the man cave and creating this space for men, which I should say, thank you very much, because I feel like, yes, I'm a woman and it's a biased opinion. Men need a safe space because men have to put on this facade that they're okay.
Yes.
And as women, we are tired of that. That was the war era, I'd like to say. We want to see that men are okay and they have a space they can be okay with other men. So thank you guys for doing that for Swakopmunders. But I wanted to know, I know that you guys have opened a spa, or the idea for a spa has also been activated with you. Man of many talents. Tell us a little bit about the spa.
Yeah, we now have a grooming spa section at the barbershop, which we cater to ladies as well. So why we decided to do this is because some men also want the facial, want the mani, want the pedi, and so on, and waxing as well. So now we provide that for them. But also some kids come with their mothers, or their sisters, or the girlfriends, and so on. Now they also have a space where they can quickly sit and chill, do a mani or a pedi while the gent is getting his haircut.
How are you going to navigate that same space to now still cater the vulnerability of both the man and the woman?
Yeah, so how we did the setup at the front side of the shop is where we have the spa corner, where the ladies can get their treat and so on, but it's basically secluded from the men's area. So the guys can still have their chill spot, and the girls can just stop there in front and
then just chill there in front
over there and so on. And at the same time, we're emptying the men's wallets as well.
Yes, please. Somebody's got to pay for it.
Got to pay for your ladies as well.
That is actually such a dope concept. So how long has Mancave been around?
Alright, so now in our 3rd year, going for our 4th year.
That is amazing. Your business is almost not a toddler anymore.
Yeah, I feel like we opened yesterday, but yes.
Yeah. So who would you say were pivotal people that basically helped you to stand on your feet when it came to your business life? And starting the business and going on as an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur, definitely the help of my parents and my sister as well. Getting together as a team to start this and to branch out. And then having good staff that works for you and basically become part of the family and having the same aim and vision and goal in mind. I always say one can't pull left and the others pull right. We all have to pull in the same direction, and that's how we get to the next step. And always the clients.
Yes.
Clients help.
You just dragged out a Bible verse, Amos 3:3. Can't we saamloop as hulle nie ooreenstem nie.
Yep.
And I think it's such a good principle to have, as an entrepreneur. Great, business is nice. I'm still failing as a student. Can we please go to the next step?
Right, so now just clean your brush again.
Okay.
And then dip it into black paint again.
Black paint.
Okay, so now you can take the full brush into the black paint.
Okay.
Just dab it a little right on the palette. And then in the right corner, or I'll use the right corner, you can use the right or left, we'll create these small mountainscapes, just back and forth in a triangular type of
shape. I'll do the left. Mountains. What how mountains look? Mountains. Okay. Like huts. I can do a hut, right? And then just huts.
Something like that.
Okay. An M and then another M. Great. So what would you say the theme of your life is?
Okay, so the theme of my life is basically anything interesting. No, I'm kidding. What my aim and vision in life is to make the most of each and every moment.
Yeah.
To
seize the day, basically.
Yeah, to seize the day, use every opportunity that you get, but if you don't get any opportunities, create an opportunity for yourself. Many times we wait for other people to basically pull us along and say,
hey, come on, let's do this.
Yeah, so basically take yourself out of your comfort zone and look for opportunities. And when no opportunities, create it.
Create opportunities. Yeah. That is such a good thing to have. I'm so curious, we know that our childhood basically shapes a lot of who we become as adults. What was your go-to cartoon, should I say, or animation as a child?
I actually watch, it's not an animation, but what's it called? Mr. Maker. Yeah, so I watched that, and after watching that, I just grab anything and try to create what he created. Yeah, art show and so on. Yeah, so I basically watched that, and there's another thing called Big Cook, Little Cook, something like that.
Yeah.
And where they created small meals and so on for children, and I tried to make it. So I always like to stay busy, so I could never sit in front of a television for hours and just watch it. I need to do something physical, create art or outside, something like that.
Speaking of food, you just did an exam for a barista.
Yes.
What is a barista?
So barista makes coffee.
Okay.
Basically a coffee maker. And I'm now an internationally accredited barista.
So I can tell the people at home that I don't have a certification and they can just go look for Sadeyo.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey? When did you realize you wanted to get a little bit more intimate with the art that is coffee?
Yes, so basically I have a passion for many things and I definitely have a passion for good coffee. I have like 6 cups a day. So yeah, I like good coffee and strong coffee, and I just thought, alright, why not learn how to make a great cup of coffee, have the details, the history of coffee, how coffee machines work, and all that. And eventually, I would like to start my own coffee shop.
I was thinking, like, so far I've learned that Sadeyo doesn't just think something and not execute it completely. So big ups on that. I think coffee shops really suit the theme of the town. It's always cold enough, and there's never not a corner you can have a cafe in that would be accessible to people, you know. So does Sadeyo cook, or is it just in terms of like the culinary arts? Does it just stop with making good coffee?
I try to cook. I make a very good lasagna and malva pudding. And what's the thing? Coconut ice. But so the rest of the stuff I'm still trying out.
So what does coconut ice entail?
Coconut ice is basically coconut fudge. So
you're gonna have to
and so on. We actually served that at the Paint and Sip event 2 weeks ago.
So you make it yourself?
Yeah, I make it myself.
Is it like a fudge?
Yeah, it's like a fudge. You make with condensed milk, and I add a little secret ingredient that makes it my own.
I see what you did there. Okay.
That's what I do.
So tell me, like paint and sips. What does a typical paint and sip leave you feeling like after you've done being the teacher? Because obviously you're really great at it.
Yeah. So basically, the joy I get out of it is to see how everyone that steps in, some of them are like professionals, some is like rookies, so on, trying out for the first time, and then they're usually nervous and not know what are we going to create over here. And for me, what gives me joy is seeing the smile on their faces once they see the artwork they've created. And some people actually realize then and there, oh, they also have the skill to do this art, they just never had the confidence to do it. So to get the confidence out there, and while we're doing the paintings of events, we also give motivational speeches.
So you have like themes that accompany these. That is so nice.
So basically to tackle a few stuff that are there, but we don't go too deep into the emotion, because we want you to have a
fun experience.
We serve wine, we serve coffee, we serve juice, so something for everyone to enjoy. So if you want to relax with a glass of wine, you can do that. And a strong cup of coffee.
Yes, sir. Okay, what are we doing next before we turn to our next section?
We're going to try and make a tree. You can check on next to your palette, there's a thinner brush. So just dab that into the water. And then back to the black paint again. Now we're gonna try and make on the clear side of the canvas. Try to make a very thin line. With a few branches to the left and to the right.
Okay. So I wanted to find out. I know that photography is also your other love. Do you just enjoy being a model, or are you thinking at any point of actually picking up the camera yourself?
I would like to be a photographer myself, but unfortunately I can't even take a decent selfie, but I enjoy being in front of the camera. So I'm not a professional model, but I would really like to get into that at some point.
At some point.
Yeah, that industry does take a lot, but I think I could do it.
I see the theme that you've kind of used across social media has been to do very professional shoots. And it's exciting to see that your theme color for most of it is either white or black. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's actually my favorite colors, even though it's not really colors. Black and white throughout. And then here and then I'll throw khaki or denim in. Which are not really colors as well, but so I like that. It's just black and white is like professional colors for me. I like being professional. And that is what I feel comfortable in.
So you would say that you understand, or you've come to understand the importance of like having a good brand and brand presentation.
So basically how you present yourself out to the world and how people will see you. So I've had a few modeling gigs. My first one was with Number Wear. I modeled some of their clothes. And then I did an underwear photo shoot as well. Yes.
Look at you!
On the line. But basically, how you present yourself to the world is what is important to me. So even doing an underwear photo shoot is also professional photographer, decent brand and so on. Nothing too extreme, but basically just presenting what you have to.
Because at the end, we all understand that we are products, right? And you want to be a product on a shelf that somebody would actually want to pick.
Yes. And then coming back to black and white, wearing black and white, for me, that makes me feel confident, that makes me feel professional, and so on. So you'll rarely see me in a yellow shirt and shorts.
Okay, cool. So my brunches are up.
Okay. So now the next step, we're going to add a sun to the picture to get some light.
A sun. Oh.
Alright, so now you can take the round brush.
Okay.
Yep.
So I can...
just dab it into the water and then get to the white paint.
Okay, white paint.
Dab it into the white paint.
And then create a circle?
Yeah, just create a circle anywhere on the canvas.
I think I made it in the corner. You know how in grade 1 and 2 they made
us... Yeah, I made it in the corner.
They made one in the corner. And put a smile on it.
Put a smile on it. Yep.
I think I want to go back and ask my teachers, where's the sun with the smile in the corner? Because this one just burns. It feels like I'm auditioning for hell or something. So tell me, now that we've covered sort of like your photography and how you want to get into that space, that has definitely been a journey for you.
Yeah.
And canvases and teaching people, to let the emotion out on canvas is definitely something I know you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Is Swakopmund where you see yourself residing for like till retirement, or do you think of relocating?
I would relocate, say to Cape Town, maybe back to Windhoek, but always come back to
Swakopmund.
So I find Cape Town is a very interesting place for me, and it basically speaks to my soul.
Yeah.
And then Windhoek, obviously, because of family and so on, there's a lot to do, but Swakop is a great place. So at the current moment, I would just like to stick around over here, do what I can over here, and
impact
also,
lives over here.
Yeah, and the town is already great, but I would like to do something more to make it even greater. So
you do say like having your name go down into history as an impactful individual is something on your to-do list.
Yes, that's definitely in my vision, my long-term vision.
So obviously, I know that as we grow older, we start to care about lifestyle, what we eat, how we flush out our bodies.
Yeah.
You're a very busy guy. You take 6 cups of caffeine a day.
Yeah.
What does the rest of like living a healthy lifestyle include for you?
Okay, so basically, I like eating. So if I don't control it, get quite fat. But so recently I started a fitness journey with a fitness coach from South Africa, Jamie Ferreira.
Nice.
And it's a fitness program that has a diet attached to it. So basically I follow that diet at the moment. And I don't eat breakfast. I have a cup of coffee in the morning, and then my first meals are from 12 o'clock. Yeah.
How's that going for you?
It's going quite well, because I feel great. I have more energy and eating healthy. Obviously, I never liked fruit and vegetables, but I realized that it does make a difference.
Imagine being forced to eat fruit and vegetables at our age. Like, it's the weirdest concept, right?
So it does make you feel good. My body feels great when I eat healthy, and should probably drink a little less coffee, but coffee is good.
I was gonna judge you, and then I remembered I used to do like 8 before 5.
Sure.
So the moment my cup, if I looked at my cup, it needed to be refilled. But I've come a long way.
Yeah.
And I believe you can too.
Yeah.
Have you learned to switch out your caffeine for something else? So I know we're young and we're impactful. What do you think is your constant conversation in helping other young people, or just generally people?
Yeah.
How do you pour back into people in terms of
basically them? Just to motivate them to believe in themselves. And for me, there's a fine line between self-love and selfishness. So sometimes we confuse the two of those. So have self-love, but don't get too selfish. think of the people around you, think of your colleagues, think of family members, and so on. Try to help where you can, try to make the world a better place. And if you're in a position to help others, do it.
Yeah.
And if you're not in the position, try to make a plan to get someone else maybe to help them. So always share with the world, but also keep back enough for yourself. You know, if I can't look after myself, I obviously won't be able to look after
the next person.
And so on. So basically, and what I also try to do is I try to never give advice to people.
Yeah.
I give people information, and then they can decide what they do.
What they do with it.
Yeah, so present them with information and let them decide what they want to do on their part.
Yeah.
So try to not be Mr. Smart, Mr. Know-it-all, all that, and yeah.
And I tend to be thinking that, you know, we're all journeying through life, yes, but your journey is never precisely the same as somebody else's. So even if we do the same generic stuff, how it impacts our lives are totally different. So I really like what you said with not giving people advice, but presenting them with information, and they can then decide what to do after that. Okay, my sun looks like something else, but what do we do next?
Alright, so you can add a little yellow to the sun.
With the same brush?
Yeah, with the same
brush. Which yellow though?
The darker one.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. So are you like a pet person? You look like a fish guy.
I actually had fishes. Always, like my old childhood, we always had fish, and I like dogs.
Oh yeah. I think dogs are easy, and dogs are probably for artists because they can just relate, you know. You take a walk and the dog knows what it's about.
Yeah. And I always say to myself, try to be the person your dog thinks you are.
That is so cool. I think I'm going to apply that. I don't have a dog.
Because they literally believe in you, and you're part of your dog's whole life, and they're only a small part of your life.
Because they live longer than we do.
Yeah. And so we basically, I care a lot for animals.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I am an animal guy.
You're an animal guy, I like that. Well, Sadeyo, while I fail, it is in no way a reflection of you as a teacher. You've done awesome. I have just accepted that mine is words and mics. It was such an honor having you here with us, and it's such an honor to have Pain. Can you tell me what is a quote that you live by as we do the exit of this?
Alright, with God, all things are possible. Always. Even
though, you know, you might have that glimpse of thinking, oh, how's this going to happen? You need to remind yourself that with God, all things are possible. Right. Guys, it has been such a pleasure. I'm going to continue being a blunder in painting in private. But yeah, from Influence Namibia as well as Sadeyo Williams, thank you so much for tuning into episode 6. As the man himself said, there's no mistakes in art. And you guys will not judge me, right? Because as the book of Philippians says in chapter 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen.
Ciao.